Good afternoon, everyone. Hey guys. Hope we're all doing well. Woke you up. Alright team, so this afternoon we're going to do something a little bit different. It looks like the markets are having a little bit of a better move this afternoon for the US session, but between my last stream and what we've had in terms of the market impact so far today, it's been pretty quiet. Long story short, I mean we haven't really moved anywhere significant across the majors. So instead of doing some analysis on these, which is going to be basically the same as this morning, I thought we'd do a little bit of more education and focus more around the analytics in the pairs this afternoon. Now, I appreciate a lot of you guys have asked me several questions about the tripwire analysis, and to be honest with you, it's one that I actually really enjoy. It's a subject I definitely enjoy, and one that's been very, very profitable for me in my trading career so far. And when I got taught it originally, it really opened up my eyes in terms of opportunities in creating, or not so much creating, but being able to accurately determine where to get into a level and where to get out and stuff like this. So I thought this afternoon, instead of doing the market scan, we could actually go through a pair or two pairs if we've got the time of your guys' choice, and we will put some tripwires in place, and I'll sort of walk you through step by step into how I would place the tripwires and how to use them. So that's what we're going to be doing. Basically, we're going to be working on the tripwires this afternoon. So if you guys, is there any pair, like a particular pair, it's probably best to do one of the majors, to be honest with you, because they're the most traded pairs in the world. Is there a pair that you guys would like to work on in particular this afternoon? Is there any? I mean, to be honest with you guys, it doesn't really make too much of a difference what pair we do, but if we do it on a pair that you want me to do it on, it kind of, you'll see the benefits of it, without me even having to look at it first. Euro USD, yeah. Euro USD. EU, yeah, cool. Okay, guys, so let's do it on the Euro USD then. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. Euro USD will be a bit of a good one as well. It'll be pretty difficult, I imagine, on the smaller time frames especially. So let's have a look up on the weekly to see what the general bias is at the moment. Remember now, guys, to everyone who doesn't know, a tripwire is used in accordance with trend, okay? So it's tripwire and trend analysis that work together. So it's trend lines and tripwires, as is the actual title for the form of analysis it is. And at the moment, the Euro USD has been a bit, it's been a bit of a shoddy trend. But let's we'll still be able to have a look in. Excuse me, we'll still be able to have a look and see what's been going on. So Euro USD at the moment. So let's get a broad strokes trend going. So everyone knows roughly drawing your trend lines. I'm going to use a pretty broad strokes one for this, just in order to save time, basically, while we're on stream. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so that's going to be the top of the channel. I'm going to drag this down, and that's going to be the bottom. Okay, so on screen at the moment we have a very broad strokes trend in the Euro USD. Stream's buffering. Try to restart, refresh the page, guys. Yeah, try to refresh the page. Yeah, cool. Okay, so in front of us we have a very broad strokes Euro USD trend. Okay, we are trending down, as everyone can see at the moment. So this is what we're seeing at the moment. Let me get rid of that as well and make the screen nice and big. Okay. So downward trend in the Euro USD. Now, when you're doing your trend lines, hey Wings, good to have you here, mate. So we have the downward trend in the Euro USD. Now, as you can see, we've got the top of the trend line here, and we have our bottom trend line here. Now, trend lines, for those of you who are absolutely new to the markets, which is absolutely fine, by the way, you know, we've all got to start somewhere. So the bottom of the trend is going to be the bottom peaks here, and the top is simply going to be at the top of the levels here. Okay, so the very top and the very bottom of the directional bias, which is going to be up or down, which is the trend. Now, within the trend, there's going to be a bit of a median zone. Okay, so this area I want to mark out with perhaps another one of these. I don't know if this will be the best tool to use, but we'll go down that basis anyway. So we're going to do one line down here, and we're going to do that. Okay, so this in the middle is more of an advanced level. So you've got your overall trend, which is down, then you have the median zone in here. Okay, and this median zone is where a lot of the price action happens within the middle of the trend. So we have a lot of bounces in here. So if we actually zoom right in and we look at this up close, you can see in this median zone, when price comes into play here, it has a little bit of a bounce. Okay, so if we're looking to go short on the Euro USD, simply by having the median zone within the trend, we can wait, instead of going short down at this low here, so this area, I'm going to zoom right in at the moment. So instead of going short down at these lows, we can instead wait for the bounce to come back up, bearing in mind that bounce is almost 300 pips up to the upside, and bank those 300 pips and get entry into the move down here, okay, down to this low. Then when price happens up here, we get a retest to the top of the median zone before moving down. And what happens with price when we get down to the bottom limit of the median zone? Price then starts to stagger again. So instead of going short down at these lows, which, trust me guys, there will be hundreds of thousands of people going short down at these lows, okay? You can save yourself the pain of getting stopped out, wait for the reversal to come back above the median line, bank your extra 500 pips there, and then bang, go short again at the highs and short back down to the bottom of the trend. Okay, now this, just to be very clear, this isn't tripwire analysis. This is simply using a median zone, which is like a tier 2 level of using trend analysis. Okay, and also bear in mind that I've been on stream with you guys for approximately 7 minutes, and this is a very broad strokes level, but just by using the median zone, we can already see the benefits of this zone coming into play here. I mean, look at this level as well coming up here. We've broken above the middle, so right there would have been a great indication of further upward momentum. My target profit would have been at the top of the median zone, and bang, we enter here at the bottom, target profits at the top, and bang, 1,235 pip move just in between the median zone here, and then price breaks away and we move back down to the downside. So the median zone is really, it's an exceptional tool to be using within your trend analysis. A really, really good one to use, and it comes into play over and over and over again as time goes on down the trend. Now let's get on to the actual tripwire. So tripwire analysis is going to be key areas with price action, not in terms of reversal points or support and resistance, but it's going to be an area of interest that is going to be able to set you guys up with those better entries for execution across the whole trend. So for example, if we go down to, let's say on a daily actually. We'll stay with the daily. We get a trend line here. Hang on a minute, delete that. Scrunch things up again. Could you use a brighter color for your median zone or a white background? Yeah, is it looking a bit blurred? Is it looking blurred, David? Sorry, buddy. Hang on a second. Color theme, white. There we go. Is that a bit better? Just wait for a moment. Yeah, we'll see if the white background's better for this. Yeah, no problem at all. So let's get building in some tripwires. So we'll scrunch this in a little bit. So now what I want to be doing is in the same angle as the trend. I'm going to go to my trend line here. Actually, I'm going to get a ray. And what I want to be looking out for is I want to be looking out for multiple touch points. Okay, I want to be looking out for multiple touch points in price action. So almost as if I was looking for areas of support and resistance, but not horizontally. I want to be looking at them in the trend bias. Okay, so the directional pattern in this trend. So I need to zoom out a little bit more just so I can see the lines of interest here. And I'm going to be getting my ray. And I'm going to be starting from the top of the trend, and I want to be working my way down. So let's say I'm going to start one here, and I want to be looking at that area right there. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at this one. So that's a big red line. I'm going to make that broader so everyone can see it easier. Solid line. I'm going to make that yellow. Actually, no, I'm not. That's too bright. I'm going to make that bright red again and thicken it up. Thicker. Cool. Right, so this is the first tripwire. Okay, so this tripwire is just above the median, the upper median zone here. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be going down in my time frames. Now, because so much price action actually happens within a daily candlestick, I really want to be focusing on my 4-hour time frame here to get the most accuracy out of the tripwire itself. So now I'm going to be going up so much price data within the 4-hour time frame here. Just let it all load up for a second. Right, so as we go down, really zoom in here. So as we go down, I mean, remember guys, this is a very, very broad strokes level right now, okay, that I've just placed in on a daily time frame. But as we go down, look at this price action, okay? This is the areas that I'm really looking at with this price here. So what I want to be focusing on with you guys is areas A, which is this area here. Just going to make that a little bit easier for you guys to see there. So that yellow box right there, I'm going to be copy and pasting that. And I'm going to have my second zone right here, okay? So those two zones are the zones that I really want to be focusing on right now. And the fact of the matter is, price has broken above the median zone right here, okay? So we've already been a little bit shaky right now. Now, as soon as I'm looking for an entry to a shorter term trade setup, like my intraday stuff, maybe a 2-day position hold, I'm going to be looking at entering into the market here. We have a really nice doji candlestick that's formed on my chart right here. This is a doji followed by a nice bodied green candlestick. So this is going to be my entry. We've got another entry just above here as well for those of you who are late in the trade, but this is what I'm going to be looking at. So what I'm going to be doing is following on from my analysis, and I'm going to be looking for a long trade setup because the bias at the moment is long. The Euro USD has been on a climb for some time. I'm going to be looking at entering into the position, and my first target profit, everyone, is going to be at that tripwire. And this is exactly what tripwire analysis is. It is not a point of significant resistance or support to price action. It is simply an area of interest where price action is going to find a little bit of a staggering point or a little bit of a resting zone. So I'm going to be taking my trade here, and I'm going to be riding the wave up to my tripwire point there. Okay, so all in all, guys, just to give you a bit of a time scale, that's 1 day and that's 152 pips. Okay, in 1 day's trading right there, and that's 152 pips in a day just from one trade. Okay, and that is simply by entering into the trade here and using this as a good broad strokes exit point for my first TP. My second TP is going to be up at these highs. Okay, and as soon as price breaks above this zone right here, as it's done, this is now a really good entry point, and target profits are going to be on the daily, and I'm going to be using the daily analysis of looking where price has previously been in the past to assess where price actually could go in the future. So it really works in conjunction with all of the other tools at hand. But this is like the real importance of these tripwires, and the same way it goes down here. Okay, so down here because we have the EMAs. I'm going to try and keep this quite simple, and I'm not going to use any of my indicators that I usually use. These three down here, but just from price action and the EMA indicators, obviously, we've come down here and look at where this doji's bounced from as well, guys. Okay, I'm going to remove these boxes for a second. I'm going to drag this box over here, and what I want you guys to really focus on now is this big red doji here. Okay, now if you can clearly see this, I'll zoom right in so you guys can get a really good accurate read on it. That doji candlestick right there has come down, and look at the accuracy of the bounce from that tripwire right here. So this is the red tripwire right here. Price has come down. We've had a really clear rejection and a bounce straight up from that tripwire. So if we go down to our execution time frame, hang on a second, completely lost where I am now, guys. Crikey, 15-minute time frame's got way too much price action on it. Right, scrap that. I've just lost my place. But basically, long story short, if you go down on the 15-minute time frame, you're going to see a much better entry point using the tripwire down on that point there. Okay, so what I was trying to say is the doji candlestick on a 4-hour will actually be lots and lots of little 15-minute candlesticks that you'll be able to see a much clearer and defined rejection of that tripwire, so you can execute to the long side again, to the buy. And as we follow this down as well, look how well respected this tripwire is along here. Okay, so this is the same tripwire that we've just placed in here. Okay, and this tripwire all along here has had multiple bounces off of it the whole way down. So if you think you're not so much of a long trader, okay, you're not so much of a long-term trader, you really like those short-term intraday positions, then why could you not be using this every single day to your advantage? Okay, you're using the 200 EMA as a rough target profit zone, and we're using the tripwire analysis here as your target profit or your entry. So you're entering, exit, okay, entering here, and you're exiting at the top. Okay, so there's 70 to 80 pips per trade off of the tripwire and the 200 EMA here. Okay, 80 pips a trade, so that's 80, 160, 240. So that's about 500 pips, okay, along there as well, just using the tripwire analysis and the 200 EMA. So as price action comes down here, look at how many opportunities, guys. Look at actually seriously how many opportunities this tripwire gives us. Okay, why would you want to be going long when you know the market bounces off of these tripwires? Okay, it's not an area of complete rejection and reversal. It's simply an area that when price gets to, it's going to have a little bit of a bounce from before carrying on to the long side. You know, rather than going long up at these highs and needing to have an 80 pip stop loss or 100 pip stop loss, bank those 80 pips. Wait for price action to come down before executing to the long side or the short side, or even take a short-term short position along here. So yeah, you know, it's one of the most significant benefits using tripwires like this. But that's what you really want to be looking out for here. When you have so go up onto your daily time frame, you have your trend lines in place on the daily. draw in your median zone, which is going to be the area right in the middle of your two trend lines. So you're going to have the lower limit of the trend and the upper limit of the trend. And then as you go down, get these tripwires and start finding areas of interest like that there, okay? That there is another area of interest to price action, okay? So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this one as well, because this is a good one. So if we actually go down to our 4-hour time frame on the lower limit here, zoom right back. Okay, so this right here, this area is going to be pretty interesting. So if we had this tripwire in place at these levels, you then create some more accuracy because you know you've been on a daily time frame, so you bring that up a little bit. So if we're here in price action, we see price breaking up into the 200 EMA here in the bottom of the lower limit. We see really nice price action bust down here, okay? So I might not, this might be a little bit aggressive for me personally, but here is going to be a really good entry point, okay? So just around this level where price action gets right in and tucked into bed with this 50 EMA, I'm going to be taking my trade there. My trade is going to be short here. I'm going to set my target profit level at my lower tripwire right along here, and then bang, price action comes down and bang, we clip the 200, we clip the EMA here, and that's a 288 pip trade. Okay, so bang, we've executed the position here. My target profit is going to be the lower tripwire that I've already had in place for months on end now, and bang, the trade is executed with precision, and we get the target profit hit down here at 288 pips profit, and using the tripwire analysis, and then we're looking for the bounce back up to the highs again. Okay, so you want to be using a lot of tripwires. There needs to be quite a few, because these are going to signify great areas for target profits and for good entries into positions as well. So the overall perspective, guys, is basically get your trend lines in, your broad strokes trend lines, then start looking for those areas of interest in price action and repeating the process over and over again so you can really chop it up. Okay, so right there, that's going to be a bit of a tripwire area. You're going to have another one, you know, up here, and you're going to have loads and loads of these tripwire areas for the intraday and short-term positions. So you guys are going to have a clear image on your charts of exactly where you want to execute the trade, where you want to have your target profit, and you're going to be able to really dissect the price action this way as well. It's going to really help you on the intraday stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it in a very quick lesson. But yeah, just rinse and repeat, guys. If you've ever heard of the saying, rinse and repeat daily. How do you identify the tripwire? So basically, by identifying areas of interest, you want to look for multiple touch points in the market, okay? So areas like this, that right there in the middle of the median zone, look how many times price action has come up and hit this, okay? So if we look at this area right here, this is a really good area. So we already know up at this area right here that this is going to be a tripwire level because the market has come up to this area repeatedly and failed to break above, and we've come up here. Look at this candlestick right here, okay? Really long candlestick up to this area. Yeah, that's right, Jay. That's exactly right. They are like support and resistance, but they are not powerful enough to equate to direct market reversals and stuff like that. They don't have as much weight in the market as a support and resistance level. Support and resistance is always done horizontally, okay? So this blue line here, okay, the 115.38 level, that is a resistance level to price action, which equated in a market reversal down to the downside. This tripwire is this is angled towards the same angle as the trend. Okay, so you have your top trend level, your bottom trend level, and then your tripwire levels should be the same, almost like the same angle as the trend lines. So they're always going down with the trend or up with the trend, depending on what trend you're actually working with. So that's what you want to be looking out for. And also you can place them on the daily, so you can work on your trend lines on the daily. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, you want to be placing them on the daily on the longer term stuff, but when you get down to the 4 hour, that's where you really find your accuracy. So on the 4 hour here, you want to be looking out for areas like this, where price action has repeatedly had a go and been bounced up from. And you know, price action will break beneath it and carry on going down to the lower limit of the trend. It will definitely break beneath it or above it, but it signifies good entry points for the market. It's just like this one here, for example. Okay, so this one here is a good example as well. So price action has come down here. We've had the pullback just underneath the tripwire, and bang, we're going to be executing our trade to the long side, because these points are not strong enough to generate a complete market reversal. They are just strong enough to create market rest. Okay, so we've had the go up, market's having a rest, executed the tripwire, bang, we're going to take it long up to, you know, up to wherever. And same down here as well. Price action has come down, and we've got a really nice bounce from the tripwire back up to the highs again. And you know, these moves may seem like little moves, but that's, you know, that's the best part of 180 pips right there. Okay, so these tripwires, you know, they've got continuous good plays to be had, and it doesn't matter how long or short you have them in place either, because they work for years. If you get the good ones in, they'll remain good for years. Place orders when you see a doji candle touching on tripwire. It's not, you know, what you want to be using a bit of initiative as well. I wouldn't say the tripwire, the tripwires aren't good enough to signify, bang, it's hit the tripwire, it's done. You need to be looking at the price action as well, you know, because there wasn't a doji here, for example. That's not a doji. There wasn't a doji here either. You want to be watching the price action on the lower time frames. But the tripwires are going to give you a good sort of directional basis for price action. We've come down, we haven't broken or closed beneath it, and that's gonna make me think, okay, we're gonna carry on to the upside. Okay. Is there a pitchfork that draws medium? So there is the Andrews pitchfork technique, yes, but I always find drawing in my own to be a little bit more accurate, in all honesty. I use like a bit of a, should I say, a bit of an edited Andrews pitchfork sometimes. But to be honest with you, I like drawing in my own median zone, David, in all honesty, because I find it to be a little bit more accurate. And it's good practice for you guys as well, while the markets are slow, to be doing the same. It would be good practice for you all to be doing it manually, because you know, you get a lot of these things that are automated nowadays, but it never really gives you the true accuracy of doing it yourself and learning to master that that side of analysis. Or I say master, but you know, getting good at it. But yeah, any other questions about them at all? I'm not really in a rush, so if you got any, you know, guys got any questions about things you didn't quite understand or anything. No questions? I must have explained it exceptionally well today then. Median zone. Do you just pick that from price action? I do. That's right, Jay. Yeah, I do. Identify the median zone. So the median zone. That's a good question as well. So the median zone in your trend is, stereotypically, your median zone wants to be the middle of the trend. Okay. Now there are areas that are going to be able there are going to be areas that you're really going to be able to depict what the median zone is. And the median zone, so a trend is broken down into the three main areas. That is the lower limit, the upper limit, and the median zone. Okay, so you've got the lower, the middle, and the top. to make it as simple as possible. And on this trend, let me get rid of these tripwires for a second. Get rid of these. Right, so we've got the lower, the middle, and the upper limit of the trend. Now, every single trend ever is always built like this. There is no simple trend that is from top to bottom to top to bottom to top to bottom. There is always a lot of price action happening in this median zone. And if you break it down onto the smaller time frames, like on the 4-hour chart, you're going to be able to see the weight of this a lot easier. So the median zone is, I mean, as it simply sounds, it is going to be directly in the middle of your trend lines. Okay, so if you have your upper trend line, your lower trend line, the median zone is going to be right bang in the middle of this of the trend. And this is an area where simply a lot of price action has turning points. Okay, so as we go down, if we start from the top of the trend here, now as we come down here, we've got entry point right here. Okay, so great entry point. Price action has come right down into the median zone, and then it's reversed back up to the top of the median zone. And look at the accuracy of that median zone right here. Price action is literally just clipped it and sat on top of it before heading down. Now, as we get to the bottom of the median zone, we then get another bit of a stumbling block and a pullback before it comes down to the lower limit. So what I really want to gain by showing you guys this is how to accurately depict and should I say dissect, actually, for a lack of a better word. I really want to teach you how to dissect a trend. Okay, really take it apart and put it back together all in your head. Okay, because you know there are so many trading opportunities within a trend. You know, it's easy to just enter into a short position here and then wait years for the trend to complete. That's absolutely fine. But I want to be making money off the long positions in the trend as well. Okay, so the trend's coming down here. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to be exiting a position, entering a position here, exiting here. I'm going to be going long from here to the top of the trend, which is 710 pips, back up to the top of the median zone. Then I'm going to be going short again from here to here. I'm going to be going short again from here to here. And this is going to be, you know, this isn't confusing. This is going to be really nice and easy because I already have these levels drawn out. And bearing in mind, guys, on the screen right now in front of you, I have got no support and resistance lines. I've got no indicators apart from the EMAs here, which in all honesty, I'm not actually using really to determine this price action. You know, I could delete these EMAs and give you the same result thereafter just by using, these kind of semi-advanced trend analysis tools. Am I short on EU and EJ? No, I'm not. No, this is purely for educational purposes. This is, yeah, I mean, this median zone comes into play time and time again. Absolutely, time and time again. The price action that happens here, you know, this is another area right here, guys. We've hit the lower limit of the trend. We come up, we have the rest at the bottom of the median zone, and bang, look at that move from bottom to the top of the median zone, from areas A to areas B. 1,265 pip move just between the areas of this median zone right here. Okay, so this is an area where a lot of price action happens and a lot of trading opportunities are created. Would you use it more as a confluence indicator, Max? I mean, in my personal opinion, John, I don't think there is anything better than price action trading. I think price action can tell you a lot more than any indicator, you know, because indicators at the end of the day, they only work on previous price action. And I'm a big price action trader. I think the indicators themselves add confluence to what I'm already seeing, but using these manual forms of trend analysis, they just make things easier for me to see. It's just how I like looking at the markets, really. You know, if I took these lines away, then I would still be long in between this position, but I want to be able to provide a really nice entry and exit to the trade. Okay, I want to know where I'm going to be exiting my position. I want to have that target profit and that stop loss and those levels already in my head before I'm exiting the position. So this is really about growing that accuracy in the market, and this is as you know, it's definitely one way I have done. Like this position here, from area A at the bottom to the top again. You know, this is just, it's just a fantastic trading opportunity. You already have all of the tools necessary to execute this with confidence. You've already seen what price action's done in the past, and you can already deter what it's going to do in the future. Okay, you know, right from there to there, it's another 1,200 pips. So this median zone alone, guys, probably equates to about 20,000 plus pips down the whole trend just by using this median zone and the tripwires, of course. Graph, can you show us in today's market? Using the mini, not history. Yeah, sure, Rich. Yep, sure I can. Bear with me a moment. So this is where price action is at the moment, okay? So we're on top of the median zone. This is where the Euro USD is at the moment, okay? So Euro USD has been consolidating, has been in an area of indecision for some time now. We've been bouncing off of that 113 handle a lot. You know, ever since we first broke through it, we had a fake out on the 13th of November. Price actions never closed below it again. So that's going to be a bit of a difficulty to get through. But then once we are below and closed beneath this area here and below, and most importantly below those previous lows, then again we're looking great to the downside. And I'm going to be running with that. The same is, look at what's just happened. Look at that move, okay, from areas A down here to the top of there. That's another 1,200 pips. Okay, and look at the accuracy of this one as well. Price action literally stopped on top of the bottom of the median zone, and a lovely controlled wave right to the top of it again. I mean, price action didn't even stop there either. But yeah, so that's where we're looking at the moment. So, you know, it doesn't matter about when you started the analysis from or how far in the future it will go. This will carry weight in the market for the next, I could leave this in here and it will carry accuracy in the market for the next, what, year, 2 years, unless anything really significant happens. Apocalypse or something like that. And the best thing is, guys, I drew this on in what? I did this at the 5 minutes at the beginning of the stream. You know, I wouldn't actually advise taking 5 minutes to do it. Personally, I'd be taking a little bit longer and making sure it's absolutely accurate and getting as many touches on it as possible. But you know, just as a broad strokes thing, this took me 5 minutes to do, and the amount of trading opportunities it presents is phenomenal. And it's only one tool. You know, and amongst a massive amount of different tools and stuff that I have available. But I use it a lot in my strategy, so it's a good one to stick to. But anyway, guys, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up there. I hope you guys appreciated that this afternoon. I do apologise if it was a little bit rushed or something. I'm still learning how to teach a bit better, I think, but hopefully you guys got the general idea. I mean, before I go as well, the tops of these median zones and the bottoms of them, they actually work really good as bounce points as well. Because if you actually look at the top here, I mean, what an entry point that would have been to the top side. You know, a really, really nice bounce off of the top of the median zone back up to the highs again. You know, it's not a massive trade, but it's still nice. It's 400 pips up, so you know, it's they just work time and time again. But yeah, guys, yeah, I am going to wrap it up there. I hope I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, maybe I'll do another live education thing at some point, just to, you know, fill you guys in on a little bit while I'm trying to work on the educational package here. But yeah, have a lovely afternoon's trading, everyone. And yeah, if you need me or anything, feel free to ping me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Cheers, guys. Take care. See you later.